Welcome to the Urban Youth Ministry course with City Vision University. I'm Andrew Sears. I'm going to give you a brief overview of this course. Now, just to explain how this course helps you become a more balanced leader, we have 4 competency areas that most people need to develop if they're going to be working in ministry. You have ministry skills, and often they're in tension with business skills culturally. Then you have operations skills, and often those are in tension with entrepreneurial skills. So this course falls in the ministry skills domain. It is also closely related to the Christian Community Development course. Those two are fairly complementary. Often these skills you'll be taught here, a lot of them might sometimes be in tension, but also somewhat complementary to the business and funding competencies courses, and then our operations and governance and innovation competency courses. So the course outcomes, after completing this course, you should be able to, the first part, you're going to be articulating a vision and philosophy of urban youth ministry. You're going to identify needs and focus areas for your youth ministry. We use something called the 40 youth development assets, but you also provide other models. And then you're going to develop youth ministry programs for each of 5 tiers in the purpose-driven youth ministry model: community, crowd, congregation, committed, and core. Then design a plan to recruit and support youth ministry leaders, and develop a plan for ensuring your youth ministry stays healthy in the long term. So that's the outcomes. And all that is going to feed into creating a comprehensive plan for your youth ministry, synthesizing all the learning from the course. Now, we have 2 books in this course, and in many ways, this course is a cross-cultural course. And some of you, if you work in urban youth ministry, it will be cross-cultural, and some people, you may be indigenous to the community. But the 2 courses that we're providing, one is really the top urban youth ministry book out there toward a prophetic youth ministry. And the other one is purpose-driven youth ministry that comes out of Rick Warren. He's the Purpose-Driven Life, Purpose-Driven Church, and they have Purpose-Driven Youth Ministry, which is remarkably a really well written book on youth ministry. So this first book is going to be focused much more on the philosophy of urban youth ministry. It's going to be focused on at-risk and urban context. Now, it's worth talking about that not everyone who's urban is at risk, and not everyone who's at risk is urban. So and no matter what term you use to talk about folks, it's going to have some downsides to it. So, but a lot of our students will be working in at-risk populations. A lot of our students will be working in urban populations. So if you're working with at-risk population that's not urban, then I think this will apply for you. The second, or the next aspect, so this book is going to be much more focused on culture. It's going to be more heart-focused. It's not going to be coming from the majority culture. So, this is more Black church, Latino church dominated approach. And we're going to be focusing on this book primarily for the first half of the course. And the Purpose-Driven Youth Ministry is actually a good complement for this first book. The first book helps lay the foundation, the philosophy, the cultural approach, but the Purpose-Driven Youth Ministry is much more of a how-to manual for youth ministry. It gives you very clear, concrete steps. It was written, though, originally for more of a resource suburban context, so not everything may apply in an urban or at-risk context, but it has really helpful tools. It's much more centered on methods. It's a little more head-focused and structured approach, a little more majority culture approach, and it's going to be the focus of the last half of the course. So the course outlined by week, we're going to start with the foundations of community youth development, principles of effective urban youth ministry, holistic youth ministry, and the 40 developmental assets for youth, and this is for each week. Building justice into youth ministry. So if you're serving urban youth or at-risk youth, often they've experienced injustice. So how do you take that into account in your approach? Then we're going to get into more of the nuts and bolts of, developing youth ministry programs, developing mentoring and youth leaders, and then developing adult leaders in youth ministry. And then we're going to finish focusing on how do you have long-term, world-changing youth development. Now, the educational philosophy and design of this course is based around something called Bloom's taxonomy. So we're going to be giving you a lot of reading and videos. Often those will reinforce each other. Some people learn better by books. Some people learn better by video or audio. And those are going to complement each other. And take notes whenever you go through this. So the goal is, the first stage, that, if you can't remember it, then you're not going to be able to apply it, right? So then the next stage after that is understanding. And just so you understand how the course is organized, often the forum, so we're going to have these SOAP reflections. What we're wanting to do is we're wanting you to show that you can, remember, that you understand and apply in these, in the forums. Same thing in the live meetings. Then you're going to be building components of your youth ministry plan. So that's kind of an analysis. And then the final project is an urban youth ministry plan. Now, this course follows what's called Constructionist approach to learning. There's been a lot of studies that have shown that adults learn best by doing and by building something. So most of this course is going to be focused around the major project, building a youth ministry plan. So you're going to have reading that's going to support that. You're going to have videos and audio discussions, and then we're going to give you kind of outlines and tools. So, and throughout the course, we're going to be using this rubric. So part of our values is we're very focused on the practical. So the scenario that's provided in this course is urban youth minister has to step down, and all of a sudden you're appointed to be the new leader of an urban youth ministry. And then you're going to be developing a plan, and you should be thinking your audience, it would be like the head pastor, or if it's a nonprofit, the executive director. So and assume that person's evaluating your plan and saying, is this plan actually useful and valuable to the organization? Then the second priority is going to be, okay, have you mastered the course concepts? And then the third priority is going to be professionalism of writing. Now, these two actually build towards the practical usefulness. So if you haven't read any of the books or gone through the video, it's probably not going to be very useful because it's just going to be kind of your opinion or thoughts, and you're not going to really be providing a lot of the best practices in what you're building. So I'm really excited for this course. We have amazing faculty that will be working with you in this course. If you have any questions, please ask them. Thanks a lot.